totally sober, that's just mind blowing. That's amazing. Congratulations to him. I'll take a shot in his honor.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we were glad to be on this show. It's kind of a cool thing it's like a little party, like we're throwing a party for him and
At a bar.
yeah, at a bar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll take a shot in his honor.
Because we're playing with some bands that we haven't played with before.
Yeah.
Like Phantom Wilds and some other guys.
Yeah.
Phantom Wilds, they're pretty cool. They're I like their sound. But then there's South State, I think, and the other band, Ronnie and the Redwoods.
Yeah, Ronnie and the Redwoods.
I think South State is Indigo's their newest member, their guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
I think he plays bass for. Is that right? Do you guys know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I mean that's cool if so.
Yeah, but I could be wrong about that.
Huh. Well, I'll have to look into that. I'm really excited about that show. So off the top of my head, this episode will be coming out Monday, March 9th, just so y'all know. But other than that, do y'all have any like upcoming shows that y'all are excited about, or?
Outside of that one, we don't have anything booked. We've got, I think, probably one more tracking session left for our EP. We've got a 5-track EP. And hopefully we get a single out of it, in the coming few months. We might try to shop it around a little bit to see if a label might help us put it out. But since we're kind of just starting from scratch, we'll probably just end up self-releasing and putting it on Spotify and stuff like that. But
Spotify, SoundCloud. Well, I'll link it up in the description of this episode so people can hear it for sure. And I was thinking I usually put like a song in the middle of the episode. I'll download Dream and put that if that's cool with y'all, unless y'all have.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
And I like it, man. It jams. Definitely makes me want to.
That's our demo that we have up on. It's on Bandcamp and SoundCloud right now.
Yeah. I asked y'all, I was like, I don't know. I looked on Facebook and YouTube and Spotify, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just Google it. And then, I found it on SoundCloud. Started following y'all on there, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that was what we entered into the West Texas Battle of the Bands last, I guess, April-ish. Yeah. So, it's probably been about almost, 10 months that we put that out.
Golly, time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Yeah.
And so
I keep thinking we got together October of last year, but it was 2 Octobers ago. Mm-hmm. It's gone by so fast. Yeah.
I think October of last year is when that show was here in town. I know it was cold outside, but I can't remember exactly when it was.
October of last year was when we did the what's that thing called? Skeletor. Yeah. That was our last
Skeletor.
Yeah, that was really fun. We played at the top of a parking garage.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that was awesome.
You could feel it sway underneath your feet, and hundreds of people up there, all kind of.
Yeah, a mosh pit formed like pretty quickly, a pretty good one, and I was standing there wanting to jump around too, but I felt the slab that we were standing on, a concrete slab, just gently going up and down. I was like, I don't think I want to add to this.
If we were to die, like that would be the way to go.
Hell yeah, that's an epic way to go, man.
I think Kane would have been the only one that would have survived because he could have grabbed onto the cable on the side.
Yeah. But does he have the upper body strength to hold himself up? No.
He's got to save all of y'all. No man left behind.
Yeah. Well, that was a show that just felt really good. We had some cool lights. It was like at night, and you had like the whole like city, kind of view behind us, and everybody was in costumes, and they were just like really hilarious. And the music was kind of designed to be like high energy, frenetic, mosh pit type stuff. And got to see one of the that was probably the first real mosh pit that was like formed for one of our shows, so that was a big moment for me just to kind of see that come to life. It was awesome.
It's the atmosphere too, man. The fucking on top of a roof. I'd want to beat somebody up mutually on top of a roof.
Yeah, it's all about having ample space and alcohol. And
Yes.
if you have those things, then mosh pits happen.
It's definitely about the alcohol too. I think that is a big. I thought it was funny, man. One of the guitarists of the band, for the band Get Around at the Get Iron. I don't know why I always say that wrong. He asked for a beer when he was up on stage, and I think like 6 of them were brought back to him. This is ridiculous. It's magical. So, I was saying, y'all's music reminds me of Block Party. It made me think of my playing like Tony Hawk Pro Skater back in the day, and I was just curious, do y'all have any favorites, like skateboarding games from back then? Recently saw an article too that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games are getting a documentary about them. So that's cool too. But, yeah, do y'all have like a favorite skateboarding game or anything?
I've never been a gamer, but I spent a lot of my, junior high days only playing Tony Hawk games, and I loved them. I stopped playing at Project 8. Like, that was the newest one I played.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty old now, but yeah.
I didn't even get to that one.
I didn't play any of the Tony Hawk ones, but when I'm older, so on the NES, like the original Nintendo,
Oh, man.
I played Skate or Die, and that was a lot of fun.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
you might
man.
have to look that up, but it had like 5 or 6 different like modes. One was just kind of like a freestyle, like you go down the street and jump over trash cans and avoid oil slicks and dip under like construction blockades. And then you had like the half pipe, and like, you're like going for height, and you had another one that was like freestyle tricks. I mean, had it all.
That's cool, man. Huh, that was a game I was not
2D.
expecting at all.
It was 2D, and it was a lot of fun. Never beat it though. I don't know if you could beat it actually. Now that I think about it.
Look, I got the SNES Mini, the Super Nintendo Mini. They sell like for $100 you can get it. It looks like the console, the old school one, but it's just a mini one. It's got the HDMI cord, the same controllers. Comes with like 30 games or whatever. And
Those are awesome.
playing those games, they're a lot harder than I remember.
Oh, dude, they're
Like, I
awesome.
know the
They're brutal.
NES would be way harder, but just the Super Nintendo, like, damn, Donkey Kong was not that hard back in the day, I don't think. Golly. It's like games are so cookie cutter now that it's kind of just easy. Except for talking about skateboarding games. I don't know if y'all have played Skate. That game, I've never been a skateboarder, so it's hard for me. Like Tony Hawk, you can just hit buttons, but Skate, you actually have to move the joysticks,
I didn't ever play that, but yeah, you have to move the joysticks like you would your feet to like flick the board. And like I said, I didn't ever play Skate, but it seemed too hard. Like Tony Hawk was fun for me because you could act like you're actually like out there riding around and just press a button and do all these cool tricks and
Do like 100 trick combo.
yeah, exactly. You can just keep going forever. But yeah, Skate looked really hard to me.
I will say that, like, I think somewhere on my bucket list is like to do like an ollie once. Like, I could never do it. I mean, I never owned a skateboard, but my friends had them, and they like try to teach me, and I could never do it.
Next time y'all see Tanner, see if he'll skate. Back in the day, he was really good at skating. I tried dropping in once and busted my head, and I just never really got back into it.
Yeah, that's the worst thing to try. You always eat it just trying to learn how to drop in.
Yeah, and I've ollied once, but I don't think I could do it again. My bones are too old now.
I've been trying to skate for probably most of my life now, for like over 12, 15 years, but I peaked really early and I have gone nowhere with it. Like, I peaked and just stopped learning tricks, and now I just kind of ride around and ollie on stuff, and that's it. But it's still fun, so.
Yeah, man, as long as you're having fun doing it, that's what it's all about, really, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Longboarding's a lot easier, I thought, because not like the super downhill stuff, but just like cruising around on one, it's a lot of fun. Just put the headphones in.
Really fun. A friend of mine like had a really bad accident going downhill. Like, he wasn't ready for it. His friends was like, "Hey, try it." That makes me nervous, but like the cruising down the street looks really fun.
Yeah,
It's those big swerves.
I used to do that when I was fresh out of high school. We would like ride down hills. I mean, Snyder's really small. It shuts down about 10 p.m. So we would just ride down the big hills in the middle of town and like hang onto the side of the car and get pulled back up the hill and do it all over again. Hope traffic didn't come randomly.
Back to the Future style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was freaky, man. One time I hit a little patch of gravel and then I looked down and my skateboard had gone one way and my feet were going the other way and I was trying to run with the car. They were like, just let go. I was like, oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Supposedly that one scene from Back to the Future like just broke skating to like mainstream. Like it became huge after that.
Oh yeah. I couldn't imagine having a hoverboard either. That would be a way fun.
I think even Tony Hawk said that scene made him want to skate, or some maybe not him, but another famous guy.
He's been skating for a long time. I remember seeing a picture of him back when he was a little kid and wearing like all pink. It's funny.
Yeah, Tony Hawk really goes back. And
Yeah, he's.
And on Facebook, I see on Twitter he gets unrecognized all the time in public. They're like, "Oh, whose skateboard is this?" It's like mine. It's like, "Well, do you skate?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm Tony Hawk." Oh,
Tony Hawk is actually still really good. He's like over 50 and he can still hold it down.
Yeah, I'm sure.
and I seen that Bam Margera was getting back too. He got really kind of thrown off there after Ryan Dunn passed away, and then but he's back out of rehab, I think, and skating now. Which that's what makes me excited for like that Tony Hawk documentary, getting to see all the old skaters talking about it. Chad Muska, even. I can't really remember any off the top of my head now. Mike Vallely, Bob Burnquist.
There's a video on YouTube of Tony Hawk just like breaking down movie scenes, skateboard movie scenes. And he's actually a stunt skater in a lot of movies that you've probably seen. It's crazy.
That's cool, man. I don't know if y'all have seen the movie The New Guy. This is really random. He was in that movie. It's a movie with, I can't remember what the little white boy's name is, but it's ridiculous. It's really funny if you haven't seen it. But Dan's dad actually got to work with him, and I think he had gotten something autographed by Tony Hawk and gave it to Dan back in the day. I could be wrong, though, but it's pretty cool, man. We're going to take a quick break. Here's Bleach Kings demo Dream.